Namaskar, everyone. Welcome back. During the course of our second education time together, we're going to be introducing you to a variety of meditation techniques. And it's not important that you become proficient in all of them. You need to find just one, and we're giving you a smorgasbord to choose from and to practice with and experience and find just the right meditation practice for you. So one of the most common ways that people meditate is through the use of a mantra. A mantra is a sound of vibration that we can use to focus our mind and make it one-pointed. Now these vibrations often are thought to be the sound body of the Supreme Being, or sacred sounds that have a particular power that enables us to connect directly with the self. And you find this use of mantra as a means of meditation, prayer, in traditions all over the world. In the Hindu tradition here and in India, we have the mantras Om Namah Shivaya, Hamsa, the Mahamantra Hare Ram, Hare Krishna. In the Buddhist tradition, the mantra Om Mani Padme Hum. The Sufis have a mantra they use called La ilaha illallah. The Christians have centering prayer, as well as the Way of the Pilgrim talks about the Jesus prayer. Lord Jesus Christ, have mercy on me. Some years ago, a doctor at Harvard University Medical School, Dr. Benson, began to study the effects of meditation and developed a practice around using the word one. He said it didn't need to have any religious or spiritual value. He just used the word one as a centering practice. So at the root of it, mantra gives us something to focus on. The mind is really busy, active by nature. The Bhagavad Gita says that the mind is more fickle than the wind and even more difficult to control. So most of us, when we sit to meditate, we have the experience of multiple thoughts cascading, bouncing, that we have trouble kind of stilling the mind. So we use the mantra to focus the mind on a single object. Earlier we talked about how meditation is the one-pointed flow of concentration or an object. And it can be anything. It can be the tip of your nose, it can be the breath, it can be a candle. Today we're going to experiment using a mantra. The word mantra is a combination of two syllables, man and tra. And so there's a shloka that says, Manana traiti iti mantraha, which is the mantra is that which protects the mind of the one who's repeating it. Now what's it protecting it from? It's not from outside sources. It's protecting the mind from itself. The mind has a natural tendency to wander here and there, and the use of a mantra helps to bring it into one-pointed focus. Certain mantras have sacred meanings to them, that they're said to be awakened mantras, Chaitanya mantras, mantras that have been used by sages and realized the self by using this particular practice. Yogis often go to great gurus to receive initiation into a mantra because it's awakened, and it can be used as a kind of a homing device into the self. Now, I'm going to invite you to use whatever mantra you like. If you already have a mantra that you use, I encourage you to use that. You don't need to change the mantra. If you don't have a mantra, I'm going to offer one that you can use. It's one that I've used, and you could consider this an initiation into the use of the mantra. The mantra is Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. It's a mantra that I received from my guru many years ago. I've used it in meditation, and I've also used it in a practice which we call japa. Japa is the repetition of the mantra, not necessarily in meditation, but we can use it while we're walking, while we're driving a car. Whenever the mind is not otherwise engaged, we can use this practice of repeating the mantra. Om Namah Shivaya. Om is the designation for the supreme consciousness. The ancient scriptures say that the supreme consciousness uttered the word Om and brought into manifestation this entire reality. Nama means I bow to, I honor, I worship. Shiva, Shivaya. And in this context, we don't think of Shiva as a particular deity, as a particular form. This is the term that we use for that aspect of the Supreme Being that dwells within us as our own self, as consciousness itself. So the word Shiva in this context means pure consciousness, pure awareness, our own being. So in totality, the mantra means we're invoking this supreme consciousness and we're bowing to that supreme consciousness as it dwells within the hearts of each of us. My own guru, before we would meditate, would often say, meditate on your own self, honor yourself, worship your own being, meditate with the awareness that God, the supreme consciousness, dwells within you as you. So that supreme consciousness within us we term as Shiva. Words have great power. There was a story that my Baba used to tell us about a sage who was talking about the power of mantra and the power of words. And there was a man sitting in the back and became extremely agitated by this. And in the middle of the talk, he stood up and said, words. This is all just garbage. I don't believe any of it. I don't believe it for a second. And the sage looked at him and said, sit down, you fool, which was very uncharacteristic of the guru, but he said it very forcefully, sit down, you fool. So the man was intimidated and he sat down and he was really upset. He became troubled. His heart began to race, his blood pressure went up, and he was fuming. How could that guru say such an unkind thing to me? And he stood up and he said, I still don't believe. How could you speak to me like this? It's so offensive. You're so rude. And the guru looked at him and said, my child, I've done this just to demonstrate to you the power of the word. I just used one simple word, fool. And look at the effect that it's had on you. What effect would a divine word, a mantra, have? In the same way that words can drag you down and create the experience of hell for you, sacred words, mantras, can elevate you into the awareness of your own being. So let's meditate. We're going to sit quietly for a few minutes and meditate using the mantra. So from whatever tradition you come from, use that particular mantra. If you'd like to experiment with Om Namah Shivaya, you're welcome to do that. But whatever mantra you're using, we're going to sit quietly, comfortably, get your spine reasonably erect but not ramrod straight. Be comfortable, because your asana, your seating position should be comfortable. We shouldn't be meditating on the pain in our body, but meditating on the self. We close our eyes and we withdraw our senses, our awareness from the exterior world and begin to focus on the interior world. We begin to notice the movement of the breath, noticing any feelings that might be present, and then we silently and mentally begin to repeat the mantra, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Now I like to repeat it at my regular rate of speaking, which is fairly slow compared to most people. If your regular rate of speaking is a little faster, you can do that. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. I will actually vary the tempo of the mantra depending on my state, my mental state. If my mind is quiet, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. If I'm somehow agitated or irritated or have a busy mind, I will begin to repeat the mantra a little bit faster so that the mantra sort of outpaces the thinking. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. You can also mix it with the breath. The mind and the breath are interconnected, and I'll talk more about that later. You can repeat the mantra with the breath. Om Namah Shivaya on the in-breath. Om Namah Shivaya on the out-breath. Whatever way works for you. You'll find your own pace, your own rhythm. Now, as you repeat the mantra, Om Namah Shivaya, you'll notice on occasion thoughts will enter. So you can let them pass through your mind like clouds passing through the sky, or you can simply remember the mantra and very gently bring it back. So the mind wanders, you notice it, and you don't judge yourself, you don't criticize yourself and think, oh, I'm not doing it right, I'm doing it wrong. No, don't add any more thoughts. Just as soon as you recognize the mind has wandered, bring it back to Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. And this practice will quiet the mind. And when the mind becomes quiet, then we can have an experience of the self. So as you're repeating the mantra, you may notice a point where you can't remember the mantra. The mind is completely quiet. At that point, just sit in the silence. You don't need to remember the mantra, but the goal of meditation is to bring you, of the mantra repetition, is to bring you to that place of quiet. So sit there and enjoy it. So let's sit and meditate together now for 5 minutes. Close your eyes, get comfortable. Notice your breathing. Notice the condition of your mind, whether it's busy or quiet. Then when you're ready, gently begin to repeat the mantra, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Understanding that the mantra, the deity of the mantra, your own self, are all one. The Supreme Being, your inner self, and the mantra, Om Namah Shivaya. So sit quietly now and meditate on your own self using the mantra, any mantra, or Om Namah Shivaya. And here we'll meditate for 5 minutes. We'll leave a little space where they can meditate. So as we come to a close of our short meditation period, I invite you to notice your breath, notice the content of the mind, and very slowly, very gently, very gradually begin to return to your normal waking state, bringing with you the peace that you've acquired in meditation, remaining in this state. I hope this practice worked for you. There are a variety of ways that we can repeat a mantra. One is, of course, as we just discussed, mentally repeating it. If you need a little help with that, you can repeat the mantra with the breath. You can also visualize the letters of the mantra, Om Namah Shivaya. You can also listen to the sound with your inner ear. As we're repeating the sound mentally, you can listen to it. You can also repeat the mantra in each of the different chakras. Earlier in this course, we looked at the 7 chakras, and you can meditate repeating the mantra in any one of those chakras. A lot of times people like to meditate using the mantra vibration in the heart, or in the Manipura chakra, or the Ajna chakra. So repeat the mantra in each of the chakras successively. You can start from the bottom and repeat them to the top. So there's a variety of ways that you can use the mantra. So this week I'd like you to practice using a mantra, any mantra of your choosing, whatever tradition, or Om Namah Shivaya. Set aside a little time each day, the same time. Close your eyes and repeat the mantra. Om Namah Shivaya. Namaskar.